What's going on, guys? It's your boy Adjen back again for another Reverse 1999 video. And for today, it's time for another character guide and review featuring Voyager. Today, I will tell you everything I know about Voyager, her pros and cons, her playstyles, her Psycube recommendations, her best team builds and synergies with other characters, and many more. Just take note that these are all based on my experience and my playtesting with her, so just take it with a big grain of salt. I lost my 50-50 to Voyager on Tooth Fairy's banner, if you saw my Tooth Fairy banner summon, and I was disappointed at first since I really wanted Tooth Fairy, but when I raise my Voyager and play with her, I'm not disappointed anymore. Voyager, in my honest opinion, is a top tier character. Design-wise, just look at her. Without a doubt, one of the most gorgeous looking waifus in the game. Skill kit wise, her skills are really incredible. So to sum it up on what she can do, she is an aggressive support character and a great team member in a critical oriented team. Let us now talk about her skill set. Her first skill, Starlight Sonata, this one. This one can inflict an AoE critical resist debuff, but take note that it's only available for skills level 2 and above. As you can see, the level 1 does not have the debuff, and as you can see, level 2 has the confusion debuff. This one is a critical resist minus 25% and can stack. So this one is really good, especially if you pair her with a crit oriented DPS character. Now let us move on for her skill 2. Her second skill, Concerto D in defense, gives your team a counterattack and also providing sturdiness, which reduces damage taken by 25%. So she gives your team some form of sustain with this sturdiness buff that reduces the damage taken by 25%. Really good skill to have. And then her ultimate skill, this one, Galaxy on the Strings. This one looks really gorgeous. The animation for this one, if you see the animation of her ultimate skill, it's really gorgeous. Galaxy on the String is a powerful single target DPS attack that has a very high multiplier, which makes Voyager a somewhat really good sub DPS in your team. Look at her damage multiplier here, 500% mental damage. And not only that one, inflicts Moxie -2 on the target. So this one has some form of control utility attached to the ultimate skill. Really good, especially against boss fights. Really good control oriented ultimate attack for a support character. Now let's move on to her passive skill, because her passive skill is what makes Voyager really good support character. It's called Refrain. So at Insight 1, it gives the ability to silence debuff the enemies. So when enemies are in silence debuff, they cannot use buff, debuff, heal, or counter skills. And then at Insight 3, her Refrain will get upgraded and will have an additional Seal debuff alongside the Silence debuff. And Seal debuff means that the enemies cannot use their ultimate skills. Her passive alone makes her a very powerful control character that can punish enemies with those nasty control debuffs. So Silence and Seal is a really good control debuff to the enemy. Really good. But the caveat for this one is that you need to perform 3 actions to enter the Refrain status. With all of these really good skill sets for Voyager, Voyager still has some downside, and that is her being an AP greedy character. Since to use her Refrain passive, she needs to constantly act in order to gain stacks of her passive. That is the main downside to Voyager. And another downside is that her critical resist debuff from her skill 1 needs to be at level 2 or above. I'm talking about this one. You need level 2 or above to gain the confusion debuff to the enemy. That is I don't think it's a downside, but that's just me nitpicking on her skill set. Now let us move on to her Psycube recommendations. As you can see, my Psycube preference for my Voyager is the Luxurious Leisure from Melania's event. It's probably the best slot Psycube for her due to Voyager having a high damage multiplier on her ultimate skill. If you don't know what this Psycube can do, it has an ultimate might 12%, so more damage on her ultimate skill. And the amplification, after the carrier casts a single target ultimate, and since Voyager has a single target ultimate attack, this one fits perfectly with her. Damage dealt increases by 5%. This effect is stackable up to 3 times. And since Voyager will probably act more because of her, if you want to fully utilize her passive skill, she will be launching her ultimate more than once in a fight. In a hard fight, maybe. My Psycube is only level 1 because I ran out of resources in using this one. But still, this is the best in slot Psycube recommendations for her. Now, what are the other recommended Psycubes for Voyager if you miss out on getting the Luxurious Leisure from Melania's event? His Bounden Duty is one of the most recommended Psycubes for her, and also Brave New World, and also the 5-star Yearning Desire. Those are also good to use with Voyager. Now, for the Resonance build, for support characters, R5 is enough. Mine is only at R4 because I don't have any more, what do you call this? This one, I've run out of Brief Cacophony. But once I've got my hands on those materials, my plan is to raise the resonance of my Voyager to level 7. I said R5 is enough, right? Excuse. But I think going for R7 is not a bad idea. But if you are a Voyager simp, you might as well just go for R10 because you will be using her a lot, right? Since you are a Voyager simp. So why not make the most out of her by raising her resonance to R10? But that one is not really a priority if you are aiming for... If you are not really a Voyager sim or you just want to use her for some supports. R5 is enough. R7 is good to have, but not really a mandatory and a priority. But R10 is also really good, but not a priority. Now, for portraits or dupes. Duplicates for Voyager are just a luxury and not a mandatory or not a priority. These are just added bonus to her damage. So it's not really recommended to chase her dupes unless you are a whale. And because she has her own banner right now, you might want, if you are a whale then and you are a Voyager, if you want to max her portrait also. But if you are an F2P or a Minnow or a Dolphin, I don't think chasing dupes for 6 stars are really necessary. That's just me. I'm not really chasing dupes for 6 stars. Just having them is pretty good enough. Now, let us talk about team building and playstyle. So, for team recommendations for Voyager, the standard team building is 1 DPS, 1 support, and 1 sustain, right? For the DPS slot, it's better to have a crit-oriented DPS character like Regulus or Lilia. I have them both. I have not raised my Lilia, but I'm not really suggesting using Lilia over Regulus, even though both of them are crit-oriented characters. My Regulus is already Resonance 10, and even though she's not inside 3 just yet, she deals massive damage to the enemy. And with Voyager on the team, they work perfectly well with each other. Also, why I said that Regulus is better than Lilia to pair with Voyager is that Regulus is an AP generous character. If your DPS to pair with Voyager is an AP greedy character like Lilia is a greedy AP character, right? You might have some trouble managing your skills because Voyager is also an AP greedy character. And that is why Regulus is way better compared to Lilia in a Voyager team composition, in my honest opinion. For the support slot, you have Voyager, and then for the sustain slot, I think Tooth Fairy is the best that you can put there, but I'm not sure if Voyager and Tooth Fairy's critical resist debuff stacks. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but if those debuff stacks, the confusion, the critical resist debuff, those two stacks from Tooth Fairy's debuff and from Voyager's debuff, then yeah, Tooth Fairy is going to be the best slot for the sustain slot in team building with Voyager. If you don't have Tooth Fairy like me, the other alternative sustain character that has good synergy with Voyager is Balloon Party. Yes. Balloon Party is really good. I'm really enjoying playing with her with Voyager. Because their counter stacks, yes. So you have some counter from Voyager and you have some counter from Balloon Party. Having 2 layers of counter, you can deal 2 layers of damage when an enemy tries to attack your ally. Really good synergy with Voyager. All in all, Voyager is a top tier character without a doubt. Having access to strong debuffs, sustain, and being a crit support makes her a really good asset to have in your account. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I think that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you can help me grow my channel more. And thank you to everyone who are supporting my channel. I appreciate every one of you. Until next time, peace.